welcome to another video. Today I am going to discuss 5 remakes that I think you can do now. Now, there is some classics on this list. Look, my whole thing with remakes is you can remake anything. Like, even for instance, Star Wars, my favorite movies. You can remake them if you really want. If they suck, it's okay, because I still got the original there. They are not going to wreck the original for me. So I think these ones, I think we can do remakes of them now, and there is some pretty cool ideas that you can do with this stuff. And I think with the modern technology we have now, the special effects, the CGI, everything like that, I think we could actually make these to be potentially modern day classics. So I'm going to give you my 5. Let me know in the comment your movies that you think you would like to see a remake of. I'm very interested. This is a hot topic, so some people might not like what I'm going to say, but hey, it's all opinions. So let me know in the comments below. Give us a like, subscribe, and let's get into this video. Gremlins. Now, a classic, an absolute classic, Gremlins. Scary as shit. Back in the day, scary as. Now, I think with today's modern technology, we have the special effects, everything we have going right now, I think a Gremlins remake you could do as a really good horror film. I think you can do Gremlins as a really good horror film. I would be down for that. I mean, everyone loves a monster film that is just like horror and R. I think the Gremlins may be able to do that. With the technology we got now, you could create the story, a very similar story, but you could change it. And I think this movie could be the one that could be like the first It, for instance, where they redid It and it was fantastic. I think Gremlins has that potential to do that, to do what It did. I think Gremlins could do that. Scare the shit, make people anxious, give us a good story, give us some good characters, and create some fucking memorable moments that are going to scare the shit out of us, that we're going to remember for years and years on. I'm down for a Gremlins remake. So, to me, Gremlins, I would love to see a remake right now. Terminator. Now hear me out. Now hear me out. The first Terminator is great. T2 is absolutely fantastic. Since then, they haven't been the best. They have not been the best. What I'm saying with the remake is not remake, so to speak, the first Terminator and T2. I'm saying, how about we just leave Terminator and Terminator 2 alone and just start a whole new one. Just start a whole new one and develop it again, because we will still have those 2 originals. Don't try and make a third one. Just start again and just make a decent Terminator film first. Start all over again, start wherever you want to start, and just retell us a new story in the Terminators. Now, I just think continue on trying to make this third Terminator as good as the first 2 Terminators is so hard. Arnold's not getting any younger. So I think it's now time for us to move away from Arnold, to move away from Linda Hamilton and that, and start fresh. Let's just start fresh, because the Terminator movies are starting to turn into the Transformer movies. They're starting to go down that one. Like, you've only got a handful of good ones. Like, you got the first Transformers and Bumblebee. That's it. The rest of them are trash. And it's the same with the Terminator one. You only got the 2 real good Terminators and the rest are... So I think going in, starting fresh, scrap everything, start it all over again, and retell it, and start the rise and all that stuff again, and create a better timeline here. And that's the way I think to do Terminator. I don't think going and trying to do this third one is ever going to work because of how good T2 is. I think it's time. I think it's time to just scrap it. We still will have Terminator and Terminator 2, so they will not be touched, and it will not ever hinder that, where we just start fresh. This is its own universe. It's not part of the first 2, it's its own universe. I think that's what we need to do with Terminator now. Otherwise, we're just going to keep getting crappy Terminator movies. So yeah, some people might not like that one, but I wouldn't be opposed to that. Jaws. Now, I know Jaws is an absolute classic. Don't get me wrong. However, I think with the technology we have now, the special effects, you could make Jaws even scarier and absolutely 100% more epic. I think Jaws could be that. I think if you got Spielberg to come back to help with it, I think we could have a fantastic Jaws remake. I think you can do this. I think you can do Jaws a remake. I think you can do a fantastic job. You can change the story up. You can change the story up and make it more modern day rather than have it back in those days. Have it in modern days, like a modern day now, and do it that way. I think you can do that, and I think we could make a really, really scary Jaws film. Make it like a sort of a horror film. Make it an R-rated one. Let's see people get eaten by a shark. Let's see a great story, and let's see some blood and gore and just absolute man-eating monster. I think we can do it. I think we can do that now. Now, some people are not going to be happy with that, but for me, I would love to see a Jaws remake. I would, because I still have the old Jaws. I still have the old Jaws. But I wouldn't mind seeing a new Jaws. Aliens and Predator. Now, I think I love the first Alien. I love Aliens, you all know that. I love the first Predator. What I'm thinking is we are trying now with Alien Covenant and that, and then you've got the Predator. I think it's time to leave them alone. Put them to the side. Start again. Same thing with like the Terminator, with Aliens and Predator. Make these two in a universe where they both coexist. So then you can have that crossover in Alien vs Predator, but 10 times better than the ones we got. I think it's time to restart it all. Restart the Predator and the Aliens one. Start it all over again and make them in the same universe so we can have a massive crossover event, which I think would be pretty cool. I think I don't like the way that they were going with Alien and saying that an android created Alien. I think we need to just hit the brakes on that stuff and restart it all again. And what I want to see is I want to see these as R-rated. I don't want to see them as PG. Predator is a fucking alien that stabs people and cuts people up and skins them. That's an R-rated one. Alien impregnates people with other aliens that pop out of their stomach and has acid as blood and then pops out a fucking thing out of its mouth and eats them. R-rated. I think you have great potential. This franchise has great potential. Both of them. Put them together, create a big universe, and give us great films, and then give us a mad-ass crossover event. I think you can do that. I think you can do that, and I would love to see it. I just don't want to see another Alien Covenant and the Predator again, so fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Back to the Future. Yes, Back to the Future is an absolute classic. It is a classic film. Absolutely classic. Hear me out. Before you all start hitting that dislike button, before you all start hating me and saying, no, hear me out. Please, just hear me out. The idea behind Back to the Future blends itself well with today. I'm thinking today. Imagine me, for instance. Me. With all the technology I got now. Imagine if I went back in time to when my parents were at school. With no mobile phones, with no computers, with none of this technology I have now, and I go back then. I think that story is so compelling, and it would really be an eye-opener to modern day. I think that the Back to the Future one blends itself to fantastic potential for remakes every 20 years when the technology evolves. There's no YouTube back then. There's none of this doing what I'm doing now. None of all this. None of the MCU or anything like that. Like, you can take all that and go back and it's a completely different... I think it blends well. I think it is a fantastic idea. I would love to see that. I'd love to see someone like me go back to when my parents were in school without all the technology we have now. Would be interesting. Would be an interesting story, a compelling story. And I think you can do it. I really do think you can do it. And I would not be sitting there and saying, no, don't do it. I actually would be all for it, because we still have the original Back to the Futures as well. So I think you could do it. So Back to the Future, I think you can do a remake right now. So there you have it. That is my 5 remakes that I would like to see that I think you could do right now. I think these ones blend themselves well. I'm interested to hear what other people have to say. I want to know what other people think about ones that they think that they would like to see a remake and redone of, that would be very interesting, because I'm interested to see what other people would say. So let me know in the comments below, give us a like, subscribe, see you guys in the next video. Peace out.